Alright, so we're back again demonstrating some more exercises from our fitness program that we've prescribed for Ben here. And so the first thing that we're going to be doing is the seated barbell overhead press. And so we're going to be seated in this chair. We have our mock barbell here. Partially we're seated because we're taking some of the demands off of the core and the lower back. We're allowing just to focus more on the muscles that are pushing, which would be the deltoids and the triceps, as well as some of the upper trapezius. And so the first thing that we're going to want to pay attention to is our grip positioning. We want to make sure that it's not too close and it's not too wide apart. We want to make sure that we can keep our elbows tucked pretty just outside shoulder width, ensuring that we're not causing any problems for the elbows as we're too close, or we're not trying to move out too far to place any unnecessary loads on the shoulders. So a comfortable grip width is going to be what we're going with here, as well as wrist angle. We're going to show you with the side view here. We're going to see that my wrists are pretty neutral. They're not going to overextend, they're not going to hyperextend like this, and they're not going to be flexed as well. We're going to make sure that we keep our wrists in a pretty neutral position. That way it allows us just for stability of movement as well as efficiency, and that we're not causing pain while we're pressing. So the press is just going to follow as this. It's just going to go over the head, and notice that the start position is going to be wherever the elbows feel comfortable being most tucked, and you're just going to press directly overhead, lock out the elbows like that, and then come back down. Another error that we're going to want to pay attention to is that, which will be demonstrated with this side view, is we don't want to press the weight forward. We want to make sure that the weight is going up. So it's going to clear over the head and come back down like that. So we'll have Ben demonstrate the movement here. So take a nice, comfortable grip. Just make sure that you keep your upper body nice and straightened out. We're going to keep that bar pretty close. Make sure that the wrists are neutral, and now we're just going to press that bar overhead. Good, and back down. We'll do two more. One, two, good. All right, I'm going to turn the chair so we can get a side view here. We'll do 3 more repetitions with this. Make sure we lock out the elbows. Good. All right. Face forward again, and we're going to add a light resistance to it, just to demonstrate what it's like. Put this here. Here. Now we'll perform a couple of 3 repetitions with this. Lock out the elbows, come back down. Looking good so far. Make sure that we keep the wrists a little bit more neutral. There you go. Good. Alright, now we'll turn the chair. We'll do 3 more. Good. Good. Alright, nicely done. Alright, and another thing to pay attention to with these kinds of exercises is any sort of pressing movement. We're going to want to make sure that the elbows stay tucked and moving up vertically. We don't want them to flare out while we press, because that will place some unnecessary stress on the elbow joint as well as on the shoulder joint. But Ben did a good job with keeping the elbows tucked. So that's the seated barbell overhead press. Alright, so the next exercise that we're demonstrating is the single arm dumbbell row. And so this is, again, a unilateral exercise, so we're going to see and address any side-to-side weaknesses that Ben will have in his strength and his upper body. This is also going to help with some trunk stability, as we're going to be fighting against the body's tendency to rotate while we're performing this exercise. And so we're going to have a bench here. It's going to be a flat bench where you'll put one knee and one arm down. You're going to be grabbing a resistance underneath like this, and all you're going to be doing is pulling that resistance close to the body. You want to make sure that the elbow is staying close and is moving behind the body. You want to make sure that we're getting extension of the humerus here, because that's going to be engaging the latissimus dorsi, which is what we're targeting mostly with this exercise. So again, it's going to be keeping it tucked. We're going to get extension of the elbow behind the body and back down. One thing to pay attention to is that we do not want to rotate at the trunk in order to get the weight up. We want to make sure that the trunk is staying stable and facing the ground, and the only thing that's moving is this arm right here. We're going to get a side view here with the bench, so you can take a closer look or a different look. Again, knee down, hand down. You're going to be pulling at a resistance, moving that elbow behind the body, and coming back down to the start position. We want to make sure that we get full extension. We want to pull it as close to our body as possible, and full lockout as well. So we're going to have then demonstrate a couple of repetitions facing forward. Move the weight. Without the weight first. So you can move that foot back just a little bit. There you go. All right, and just pull that elbow close to the body. Good. Good. Really feel the squeeze. All right, now we're going to turn the bench side. Good. All right, so now from here we're going to add a light resistance here for him to grab onto and perform 3 reps. Good. See very good stability in the trunk. Very controlled movement. Very good. All right, we'll turn to the bench. We'll have him do some facing forward. Good. Very good. All right, we saw pretty good execution there. Again, we're maintaining stable posture throughout the trunk. We're making sure that nothing is rotating. We want to make sure that he's finishing each rep, which he did demonstrate very well, and that's the single arm dumbbell row. All right, so the next exercise that we're going to be doing is the chin up. It is a closed kinetic chain exercise, and it's going to be a little bit of a step up from the lat pull down that we prescribed earlier in the program. The reason that we're doing this is mainly to promote real world application and a little bit of more trunk and core involvement. And as well as just a greater challenge, and it's a good carryover into other things that he's going to be doing with his body weight later on, and it's a very good measure of building strength as well. So execution, we're going to be taking a supinated grip on the bar, so that means the palms are facing forward or facing backwards towards you, and all you're going to be doing is pulling yourself so that your chin reaches over the bar and then coming back down. A couple things that we're going to be noting is reaching full lockout at the bottom. We want to make sure that there is complete relaxation, starting from a dead hang and then coming back up. Another thing that we want to pay attention to is we don't want you to shrug your shoulders at the top of the movement. We want to make sure that the shoulder blades are going to stay in a depressed position all the way up and down through the movement. So I'll demonstrate a couple of chin-ups here. Again, we want to make sure that we pull up over the bar and lock out at the bottom. Again, we also want to make sure that our shoulder blades are depressed. I'm not shrugging my shoulders, I'm keeping them depressed and going back down. Let's get a side view from that. Alright, again, we want to make sure that I'm getting good height on it as well. I'm making sure that my chin clears the bar and coming back down to a full relaxation. So we'll have Ben demonstrate 1 repetition this way and 1 repetition on this side. Yep. Alright, very good. Alright, let's get a side view of that. Again, he's resting at a dead hang. We're going to make sure that the chin clears the bar. Shoulders are staying in a relatively stable position, and that's pretty good. Again, also we want to eliminate any sort of swinging or any sort of momentum to get yourself over the bar, which Ben did a good job of controlling the movement on the way up and on the way down. So that's the chin up.